Hey there, Rochelle from Open Asset here, and today we're talking about SME personas. So why is this important? Well, writing a winning proposal takes a lot more than just really good design and really good writing. It's really about tapping into the brilliance that lives within your subject matter experts or your SMEs, your SMEs. But let's face it, not all SMEs are that easy to work with. Sometimes it feels a little bit like pulling teeth. So in this video, we're going to break down 5 key SME personas and talk about how to engage each one effectively. So number 1 is the technician. Technicians are super knowledgeable. They know everything you could possibly need to know about their domain. But because of that, they tend to get lost in the technical weeds and the details. They really struggle with the idea of technical accuracy and clarity, and they don't get strategic marketing objectives at all. So to manage a technician, you want to streamline important information. A good way to do this is to provide them with an outline or a template or something that focuses their expertise in a very specific way so that you don't have them running off into those technical weeds. You can also offer to collaborate with them to help translate their technical expertise in that jargon into the marketing speak that we need, like clear features and benefits and win themes. A great way to build a relationship with a technician SME is to show genuine interest in the technical details and schedule follow-ups with them because they'll really appreciate it. The second persona we have is the procrastinator. We all know a good procrastinator. They have good intentions, they really do, but they tend to miss our deadlines, right? They are probably juggling multiple projects, so they're doing a bunch of different billable stuff, and then marketing has been dropped on top of them, maybe even multiple proposals. They are probably rushing to get their contributions to you if they even get to it at all, and proposals, quite honestly and unfortunately, are their absolute lowest priority in the moment. So the best way to manage a procrastinator is to, number 1, communicate your deadlines and your schedule to them at kickoff and have them sign off on it. Ask them if these dates work for them, if there's any changes they would like to make, and then hold them to it because they said, yes, this is okay. Send them templates as well and break tasks for them into smaller requests if you can. Instead of giving them an entire technical approach, see if you can start question by question. Because procrastinators can be unreliable, see if you can designate a backup SME, maybe someone they report to or someone parallel to them who has equal knowledge and can step in if needed. And of course, unfortunately, you might need to make a plan to escalate if needed. If this SME keeps procrastinating, keeps dropping the ball, and it's breaking your proposals, then you need to have a plan for going above them and working through what you can do to help them help you in your proposals. Not to attack them, but to clear the way so that they can collaborate with you. Our third personality, my personal favorite, is the ghost. So the ghost leaves you on red. They show up late, if they show up at all. They are extremely inconsistent, more so than the procrastinator, and they tend to be unreachable or completely non-responsive until it's absolutely too late, meaning they might check in a couple days after the proposal has been submitted. So to manage a ghost, you need to, again, establish a schedule that everyone in the room signs off on. So everyone who will be involved in the proposal, including the ghost, sees all of the scheduled milestones, deliverable dates, production deadlines, and agrees to them. This creates accountability, so it's not just the ghost saying, yes, I can do that. It's other people seeing the ghost say, yes, I can do that. Provide them with pre-deadlines or false deadlines to build in buffer time. So I like to tell my ghosts that something is due on Tuesday when in reality I don't actually need it until Thursday or Friday because inevitably they will push that deadline and then I can offer them grace. I check in with my ghosts regularly, ongoing, trying to keep them engaged, keeping those small tasks for them, feeding them to them in like a drip. As I get one thing, I send them the next. And of course, with your ghost, you might want to be prepared to escalate sooner rather than later. It might be helpful if a ghost has messed something up in the past or caused an issue to put them on notice and work with leadership saying, hey, this ghost has not engaged in the past. This is a very important proposal. We really need their technical expertise. I need your support in making sure that they get their content to me. The next personality we have is the defender. Defenders are very protective of their work and their tasks. They often bristle and refuse to accept or incorporate feedback. They might intentionally deliver content late so that you are forced to use it as is, like you just got to drop it in because the proposal is due. They tend to be very inflexible, and this creates a lot of friction within the team. Defenders, because they're a little prickly, can be difficult to manage. But it's really important that when we do provide feedback, it is constructive and researched based, right? If we are editing their content, we don't just say, I don't like how you worded this, or try wording it this way. We give them a reason for making this change. Like, it will be more understandable to the audience if we say this instead of that. Give them a reason for the change so that it doesn't feel so personal to them. Make sure that you're framing all of your revisions as clarification points for the client. So it's not just you not liking what they did, but it's you helping them make their work as good as possible for the reviewer. Offer opportunities to compromise with them. Like, we'll leave that written this way, but we need to change this one. Or you can keep that graphic, but I need to get rid of this one. And if you need to, see if you can get a third party, like another technical staff member, to provide a second opinion, because there might be an issue of, well, you're marketing and you don't understand the technical details, even though you do. So get another SME to come in and say, oh no, that doesn't make sense. If we revise it this way, it will. Our last persona is the nitpicker. We all love a good nitpicker, especially on the final deadline. So nitpickers fixate their content without considering the bigger picture. So if you give them the technical approach, they're going to write that and they're not going to think at all about the broader strategy or the broader proposal or the win themes that go into it. They're just going to do their thing. They get caught up in minor details. They divert attention to non-essential items. These are the people who are picking up on grammatical errors instead of like the big technical pieces that we need them to be working on. If they're in a collaborative review, they are often the person who sidetracks conversations or hinders the review process. So we really need to make sure that our nitpickers stay on track. And the best way to manage them is to set clear guidelines for the focus of every review. So create a checklist or mission statement for your review today. You know, we're not looking at grammar, we are not looking at graphics, we are reviewing for messaging or reviewing for strategy, that type thing. So if anyone goes off track or the nitpicker tries to loop in something else, we can politely say, I understand, but for today, this is what we're focusing on. You'll also want to assign a final authority for potential conflicting edits so that the nitpicker can't go through and change something that has already been revised. You need a final authority maybe over them. And then also using a collaborative review format where all edits can be seen, like a shared Adobe link, so that our nitpicker and our other technical staff can be reviewing it collaboratively and making agreements or having discussions within that link instead of all funneling through you, the marketer, is going to make things more transparent. It's going to be a lot easier on you. And finally, try implementing a tiered review process. It might be that the nitpicker does not need to be involved in every single review. They can only be brought in at like a final review or a midpoint review where we're just looking at what they've been working on. That will prevent them from sidetracking a conversation elsewhere. So no matter which SME personas you're working with, the key is really adapting your approach to get the best input and understanding their personalities so that you don't lose your time or your sanity. If you want more tips for proposal success in AEC, subscribe to the Proposal Pulse or visit openasset.com/resources.